Okay, so here we have our beautiful, lovely roasted chicken. Skin is nice and crisp, and it has rested, so we're ready to carve into it. The first thing I'm going to do is cut the skin in between the drumstick here and the breast or main body of the chicken. As you can see, when you cut into it, it's basically hollow right there. So you're really not doing anything except for cutting the skin. And then we're just going to keep following that around, and juices will start to ooze out, which is just fine. And I'm going to flip it over actually. And this is the thigh bone here, and so we're just going to keep following along that line. You're trying to cut in between the muscles. And here, we're just going to pop that out of the joint. Sorry, that was a little wonky. They're showing it to you. But we're going to pop the thigh bone out of the joint. And that just makes it easy to cut all the way through it. There's a little bit of cartilage that connects this bone right here to the chicken itself. But after roasting it, it's super easy to just slice through it with a knife. So there's one guy. And we're just going to repeat the same thing on the other side of the chicken. Cutting through the skin around the drumstick, following it over to the other side, trying to get out of the way of the wing, and then popping that bone, that joint out right there. And that allows you to just cut right on through. Alright, so here we have our drumstick and the thigh, and obviously you can leave this attached and that's perfectly fine. You can serve it like that, or you can disconnect them so you have two pieces. And what you want to do is cut right in between the thigh and the drumstick. Everyone should probably know what a drumstick looks like. It curves around that way, and there's a joint that's pretty much right down there. And you want to cut through that joint. It's the easiest. And if you hit something hard, you probably hit a bone. Sometimes it's easy if you kind of cut the skin away, then you aren't worried about that. You can kind of move it a little bit. I can feel it. Trying not to mangle it too badly. You can flip it over too if you're having some trouble finding it. So it's right there. That's what we're trying to get through. Okay. We'll get there. Takes a little practice. There we go. Oh, man. There. And it's fine. You just cover it back over with the skin. Nobody will know. No one will know. All right. Moving on. Wipe off your hands if they're covered with grease, as mine are. Now we can move on to these little wing dudes. And if you can see, the wing, we have them tucked behind here. You can untuck them if you want. Actually, that might make it a little easier. The wing comes and attaches right around here in kind of a shoulder-looking thing. Now you can either cut this joint here and have those be your little wings, or you can go all the way in here. We'll see if we can do it both ways. So the first thing we're going to do is just kind of go and pierce the skin so that we can expose the muscles and see what we're getting at. And then once you've got the skin slit, you can kind of pop the joint. You can see in there, you pop the joint, then you kind of know what you're getting into. More or less. do here. You just have to kind of chomp into it, not be afraid. So in this guy, let's just try it just for kicks. We'll cut the joint here at the wing instead. And for this, you just want to find where it attaches. Put your knife right in there and cut right on through. You have your lovely little chicken wing. And then we can get this guy when we go to the breasts. So now we've got the breasts. There are two of them with essentially this breastbone sternum running right through the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a line right through the middle, right along that bone. And go down until you hit bone, and you'll find that your knife naturally went to one or other side of the bone. Mine went on this side. And then you just start, you can kind of half cut, half pry the breast off. And you want to just slice right close to the ribs. Try not to mangle the skin too much. Try to get as much of the meat off as possible, obviously, but if some's left on, it's okay. Still got the wing attached. So if the wing is still attached on this side, pop it out of the joint. The joint is right there. And cut through. I managed to mangle the skin on this one fairly well. You can kind of push it back in place. Now if you want to take off this wing just go through that joint again, which is right there. Then we're going to go back and do the other breast. And again, we're just going to slice down on the other side of the sternum. Until you hit the ribs. Avoid your fingers. That's never good. It's going to be slippery, so just go slow. Don't fret. There we go. Here's your other, only slightly mangled chicken breast. Ta-da! Add that to the plate. And what's left is your chicken carcass here. And you can pick off a lot of this meat. It's good for sandwiches, chicken salad sandwiches. You can freeze it, put it in soup, about anything you want to do with it. Lots of nice tender meat. And once you're done picking off all the meat, then you can use the rest of this carcass to make some stock. And there you have it.